One major thing between Canadian voters and an early election is Liberal MPs that are waiting for their pensions to kick in, and they're even willing to bend the rules to make it work. Well, this petition is looking to thwart just that. Now, it's no shock that the Liberal government is falling in popularity. And, well, I mean, you only have to look at the mainstream media news these days to hear that sentiment because, well, they just can't hide it anymore.
You and your colleagues really spent the week accusing the Tories of acting in their own self-interest by trying to force an election. But ultimately, aren't you just avoiding an election out of your own self-interest? There isn't a poll out there right now, that doesn't show your party would lose and lose substantially.
I'll get back to this video, and this is actually correct. If you look across Canada, polling is polling in the direction of the Conservatives, largely across the country, with probably the only exception being Quebec. And, well, even Andrew Coyne pointing out here, Libs in fourth place in Canada. That has never happened in our history. In 2011, when they were the least popular they had been in our history, they were in third place. Now they are in fourth place behind the NT. This is insane. It's absolutely insane. It's looking like we're going to have, when we do finally have an election, we're going to have a Conservative supermajority with a Bloc Québécois opposition party. Who could have predicted this? This is insane. But what's stopping us from having this today? Well, pensions. That's right. Pierre Poilievre pointing out that Jagmeet Singh flat out lied to Canadians when he claimed that he was tearing up the carbon tax coalition. He tore the papers up, but he didn't actually do anything to change anything in that. He's still voting with the Liberals on everything. And now the Liberals have the Bloc Québécois. They're giving them trinkets and shipping asylum seekers to other provinces on their behalf because of this. He did a big Hollywood-style video to save himself from the Winnipeg by-election, but when he no longer needed people's votes, he betrayed them again. He chose his pension over the people and lied to your face. Never trust him again. Never trust him again. Well, they're even calling him out on his pension on mainstream media news now.
I have to also ask you, Mr. Singh, why now? And in particular, I've done so many interviews with you. I'm sure you're sick of them, where I ask you the question, like, this is the way in which you're describing the government. Why are you still keeping them in power? I don't understand what changed, saliently over the last number of days or weeks that led you to make this decision now versus, let's say, 6 months ago. You point to corporate greed, for example, particularly in the grocery sector. Food prices were at their highest over a year ago, and the government wasn't doing much even then. Why didn't that force you to make this decision? Is this more about really polling and your electoral chances, and some would accuse in the Conservatives your pension?
Not at all. First of all, let's put that to rest. That's a lie being propagated by Pierre Poilievre, who's, I think, got his full pension when he was like 31. So I don't know. He wants to cut people's pensions. Speaking of pensions, he wants to cut seniors' pensions. I mean, that's what we should be talking about, the fact that we want to defend and strengthen people's pensions, and he wants to cut them. I think people should know about that. And the next election, again...
Well, we all know this is a Ponzi scheme, the pension program in Canada anyway. But these politicians are clamoring. And look at Vachi's face as he's describing this. He's just not having it.
It's going to be a choice. People want change. They're going to replace Justin Trudeau. Do they choose Pierre Poilievre, the Conservatives, who want to let big corporations...
Yeah, just not buying it. Just not buying it. Nobody's buying it. And the Conservatives are now putting out a petition to scrap the Liberal MP pension cash grab. What is this about? What's happening with this? Well, this is actually a bill. This is actually a bill, and it's actually in the Senate right now. It passed with flying colors right through the House of Parliament. Surprise, surprise. And now it's going into the Liberal Senate, where Justin Trudeau has appointed a vast majority of senators over there. And this is a bill aimed to amend the Elections Act. Well, what do they want to amend? What do they want to change about the elections? We could have an election tomorrow if they would just vote no confidence. But what does this really have to do with? Well, this petition actually lays it out on the line. Scrap the Liberal MP pension cash grab. Bill C-65 is a Liberal pension security bill cynically and corruptly disguised as an elections bill. A clause in Bill C-65 proposes that the date of the next general election, be moved back by 1 week from October 20th, 2025 to October 27th, 2025. Now, they'll tell you, oh, we did this because there's some Indian holiday on that time. Well, why not move it back a week earlier? Why not have it a little bit earlier? Well, it turns out it's because people's pensions are going to be kicking in. A bunch of Liberal MPs that are about to get voted out, as you can see in the polling data, and they don't want to lose out on their pensions that they can soak more money from the Canadian taxpayer. Members of Parliament elected in 2019 currently become eligible for their pensions on October 21st, 2025. And moving the election date back by 1 week will make these members of Parliament eligible to receive their pensions they otherwise would not be entitled to receive. The Trudeau government is deeply unpopular, and many Liberal MPs are likely to go down in defeat in the next election. And the Canadian Taxpayer Federation estimates that the cynical and corrupt pension cash grab by Trudeau's government will cost taxpayers up to $120 million over time. This is seriously soaking the taxpayers. One last little thing, because they've been in there for almost 4 years. They've been in there and almost 5 years, and they want this pension that's just going to soak more away from the Canadian taxpayer. Not that they haven't been soaking us for that entire time that they've been in government, but it looks like they're going to get voted out, but they just want to get that one last little hurrah to secure themselves a paycheck for the rest of their lives, for the terrible job that they've done. We, the undersigned residents of Canada, call upon the Trudeau government to scrap this outrageous Liberal MP pension cash grab. And you can go in, you can sign it. Link will be in the description down below. You can go check it out. But of course, when this comes out and when this rhetoric is being said in the media and also in the House of Parliament, they gotta throw things back. And what they're doing, here's Karina Gould throwing it back at Pierre, saying, well, he's already got a pension and he's already going to be soaking people, and he's trying to reduce pensions for other people.
That member wants to talk about entitlements. He should talk to the leader of his party, who has a calculated $2 million pension, who lives in government housing, while at the same time looking to cut the pensions of Canadians, raise the age of retirement from 65 to 67, and cut the Canada Child Benefit and other benefits that help Canadians. Mr. Speaker, if he wants to talk to entitlements, he should look in the mirror first. Thank you.
Okay, totally disingenuous, because the leader of the opposition has to live in government housing. There's a house doled out for him. He's put into that place. And when he becomes prime minister, he's got another house that he's going to be put into. This is something that's already set up. I mean, why is she not criticizing Trudeau for living in a... Anyway, he's been eligible for his pension for a long time. Why? Because he actually served the time. He put the time in, and he didn't have to break any rules or write new legislation to get himself the pension. And this is why I got to point this out. They literally wrote themselves a bill to make themselves eligible when they otherwise would not be eligible for their pensions. And again, the Taxpayer Federation is estimating that it's going to cost taxpayers $120 million over time. And this is why we're not getting an election this fall. This is the main crux of it. There are a lot of people that have vested personal interest in this, which is something that's supposed to not happen in government. You're not supposed to have your personal interests above the interests of your constituents or the interests of Canadians. But this is where we are. And of course, here's Jagmeet Singh juggling over this one again, as he's asked about why he's propping up the Liberals and his pension.
Why is Pierre Poilievre is accusing you of keeping the government in power to keep your pension? What's your reaction to that?
It's another tired old lie that Pierre Poilievre likes to say. And it's a lie that he uses to distract from the facts. The fact is, he wants to destroy the dental care program for seniors. Not only that, he wants to tear apart our healthcare system brick by brick, making it a private system where people pay out of pocket. That's what he wants to distract from. We're focused on making sure we strengthen our healthcare system, we fix the problems, that we build up
the things that people need. He wants to tear down, we want to build it up.
What is this? What is this guy fixing? Well, he might want to even fix his own party, because this is a story that's kind of breaking, actually. Alex Zoltan, who does a lot of great digging up of stuff, it says, fun fact, Jagmeet Singh's NDP is so broke, they needed to take out a loan for $21 million just to look like a real party in the 2021 election, which they haven't paid back. This is a party of people that are living on borrowed money from the future. Does that sound familiar? It sounds like the Trudeau government. And Jagmeet Singh can't even run a party, let alone a government. Why would he have any criticism of any of this stuff? But this is a breaking story. Probably gonna have more information about this tomorrow. So, of course, always subscribe to the channel. You'll find more of that moving forward. And of course, if you're looking to, hey, because, you know, I'm always having a cup of joe in the morning with you guys. Why don't you come on and join me? For a cup of joe, we've got coffee products over on this store. Of course, nothing but the best Canadian locally roasted coffee right out of Vancouver, British Columbia. Go check it out. We've got dark roast, decaf, and medium roast coffee. And grab yourself a Clyde Do Something mug, t-shirts, all that on the store. Go check it out. Love to see you guys out on the streets in that new Wobbly Pops t-shirt. I'd love to see that and have a coffee with me in the mornings while watching these videos. Anyway, love to hear what you have to say about all the things we talked about today. The pensions. Do you think people should get a pension? Should they be able to cheat the system in order to get their pensions, even though they were the ones who put the early election previously, which would make them ineligible? It's really up to Justin Trudeau, but instead they decide they want to cheat to get their pensions. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.